Oh, hi there. I'm Graeme Stewart-Robertson for Ward 3 in the upcoming St. John. Now, it is beyond the moratorium for and I can't officially talk about my campaign or the campaigns of anyone else for that matter. But what I can do is show you how to turn that blight of signs across our city into a useful that you yourself at home can make with your children, with your pets. It's an exciting project, and I'm going to show you right now. This project is phenomenal. It can help the environment, it will help your personal relationships, and it will help recycle. It will also help certain who may or may not be as keen to go around and pick up the signs that he or she may have put out in the last few weeks. Frankly, it's a bit labor intensive, and any help I can get on that, they can get on that, would be very helpful. Now, what we're going to do today is make a birdhouse. Signs are often made out of corrugated plastic, which is durable and weather resistant. So, why not turn it into something functional? This design can easily be adapted to many different species, be they goldfinches, be they sparrows, and yes, that's right, you guessed it, even Now, all you need to get started is an attractive sign, much like this one. You probably won't be able to make out the details of this sign because it has been blurred to avoid endorsing any particular in the upcoming Ward 3. Now, take that sign and, as I've prepared this one earlier, combine it with certain materials, just bear with me a little, some zip ties. You need 18 in particular, that's right, 18. Now, these zip ties are handy for electrical work and can be found at fine hardware and electrical retailers nationwide. Now, you'll also need some safety equipment, be they gloves, fire extinguishers, you name it, and a box cutter. Now, these are extremely sharp, so please use caution to avoid causing injury to yourself, loved ones, or the general public. Now, this is that aforementioned half-completed birdhouse that I mentioned earlier. As you can see, it's been cut into many pieces, all of which involve right angles or 45-degree angles. Now, if you took geometry in elementary school, then frankly, you've already passed the level of aptitude it takes to make this birdhouse, so it should be quite simple. Now, how do you cut out the pieces exactly? I'm glad you asked. Visit my website, .com, not related at all, and find a template in JPEG format. You can print that out to scale of the sign in question, or simply measure it out. Now, all of these will be marked by either solid lines or dotted lines. The dotted lines indicate where you will simply score the sign, not cut all the way through. This allows it to bend while retaining some degree of structure. As you can see, it's durable, it flaps its wings like the bird that will soon take residence inside. Now, what you're going to do is use a small awl or a screwdriver of any type really, and poke holes for your 18 zip ties. Again, the locations for which are marked helpfully on that template that you found at .com. Now, you simply have to feed the zip tie through one piece, and what you'll do is link it up with the adjacent piece as described in the instructions, and fasten the zip tie as tightly as possible. It's really like fastening a seatbelt on an airplane, except you'll never get it back off again, and it could result in a tragic accident. Now, as you expect, I have prepared a birdhouse earlier, so that all of you can marvel in its splendor and utility. Here it is. Isn't it a fine piece of craftsmanship? You'll see here that it's quite difficult to make out whose sign this was originally, but we can clearly see that it was attractive, well designed, and really awe-inspiring. Now, you'll also notice that this sign was designed from the start to be upcycled into said birdhouse. You can tell this by the fact that the O in the word conveniently forms the opening for the bird. Now, you can adjust the size of that opening depending on what kind of bird you would like to take residence in this house. You might want a transient bird of some kind, in which case you might want to work out some sort of lease agreement with the rentalsman to avoid any unforeseen difficulties when their tenancy is up. Now, the birdhouse can easily be mounted using a post in a tree, some simple wire, you name it. You can also substitute a couple of the zip ties on the side here with hard copper wire or something the like, so that the whole roof can be unfastened hinge backwards for easily cleaning. You can also invert the entire design roughly and create an elegant bat house, which can help reduce insect populations in your backyard or in your neighborhood. It's really a handy tip for those of you suffering from mosquitoes and the associated paralysis mentally of fear of West Nile virus. Now, it's really that simple. I encourage all of you to go out, find an sign much like this one, and turn it into something useful. When an election runs its course, oftentimes we discard the signs like so many unwanted and at the end of the day, they end up cluttering out landfills or ending up outside of our blue bin recycling bins. What I would like to do is encourage you all to make a birdhouse, help the environment in many different ways, and show what a great member of our community you can be. Heck, just like the person who's made these signs in the first place. I'm Graeme Stewart-Robertson, for Ward 3 in St. John, bidding you a fine month of May.